G'day everyone, well welcome to Miho. I've come to Miho down at Shizuoka Way. It's supposed to be a good view of Mount Fuji. It took me about an hour to get here from where I was staying at Shizuoka. So yeah, come down here and got blessed with the weather, some good weather as well. So yeah, lo and behold, yes, finally Mount Fuji. There you go folks, Mount Fuji's still hiding in the clouds a little bit, but I think today's a good day, so I guess the clouds are just going to pass by. So I finally get a view of Mount Fuji. So I've come down here to paint. Beautiful day. It's about 32 degrees or so. And yeah, we'll just go over here. So yeah, really pumped and excited to just spin you guys around here. Really pumped and excited to paint Mount Fuji, and I'm here. Travel all across from Australia, and I've made it. So it's good because the other painting I done had like a path and that, where here I've got grass and that in the foreground, so it's a good spot. So yeah. Over here, Mount Fuji, so basically there's a lighthouse there, and I walked about probably 15 minutes from the bus stop to get here, and I will probably get prepared, get everything set up and all that. Yeah, when I'm ready to paint, find where I'm going to paint, I'll take a walk, find the right location, and yeah, we'll paint Mount Fuji. So yeah, we made it. Miho no Matsubara is that way. Miho Lighthouse is behind me. I'm just near there. So let's paint Mount Fuji. Okay, so this is probably the closest vantage point that I got at Mount Fuji from where I am, but I did like the view from over there from the landscape looking across. That looks probably in my eyes better. If the waves were bigger, it'd be great here, but here I'm exposed in full sun. There's no shade, so I'll keep looking, but yeah, maybe the afternoon this would be perfect. But yeah, Mount Fuji's over there, so yeah, I'll keep walking and see if I can get a better spot, even if I walk over there and back along there until I find the right spot to paint Mount Fuji. So let's keep going. Fish? No fish. Whew, quite warm, even though it's probably only about 32 degrees, but it's hard walking on this gravel as well. But I'm going to stop and have a bite to eat. I've got some, you know, like what I really like is the Japanese snacks. Like the dried fish, like dried seafood, and the dried like soybeans and that. I've been getting into them. Not eating rubbish, eating a lot of traditional stuff. It's really good for you. So yeah, it's been great. So yeah, I'm going to recuperate. not regenerate. Recuperate and have some lunch. And then I will work out what I'm going to paint and paint Mount Fuji. How exciting. I'm really happy to get a chance because it was raining yesterday, as you can see earlier in the video. And I went and looked at a shrine and that, and it was raining and a miserable day. I got soaking wet, but today blessed, and yeah, really happy to paint. There's a big ship coming. I'm really going bananas for these. These chestnuts. Oishi, delicious. I'm ready to paint Mount Fuji. I've got me blocking in place. I'll show you guys my blocking. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do it. So I've got Mount Fuji here. There's a mid mountain. I've got another mountain here on the left, and then the water, and there's like a city you can see, and then the water, and there was a couple of waves before when a ship went by. So I've decided to chuck them in. Yeah, like as you can see it like that, there's a couple of sort of waves coming in. So yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. And I've got a tiny bit of the shoreline. I was going to have a bit more up this way, but it's all a bit dirty from all these washed up driftwood and all that sort of thing. So yeah, let's paint Mount Fuji. I've got everything set up here. I've got the usual paints that I've got here that have been the last two paintings. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the sky. And hopefully the clouds will give me a better shape of Mount Fuji if I need to make any adjustments once I get to it. So yeah, I'll start now with the sky and clouds, and we'll get painting. Okay, I'm going to go cobalt blue, and I'm using mix and white. Okay, add a little bit of alizarin crimson to that, and bit more white. Okay, I'm ready to go. Add a little bit cobalt just to the edge of it. It's going to always darker at the top, because I'm going to start with the top. I'll work out the clouds as I go, I guess, because they keep moving. I'll try and find the best composition of the clouds. With the colour of Mount Fuji, what I done is I mixed a French ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, and a little bit of oxide of chrominium, only a tiny bit, and I'll show you guys the colour. Okay, so I've come up with this colour here, and it's pretty much spot on with the colour of Mount Fuji as it is today. So there you go. So ultramarine blue, French ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, and oxide of chrominium. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave the clouds because they keep changing. I'm going to get the right shape of the clouds, get that in, and this will give it a chance to tack off a bit too. I'm going to work on this mid-mountain here now, and I've whipped up an oxide chrominium. burnt sienna, French ultramarine blue, and I'm just going to work on that. Just getting some tiny highlights of the city in now. I was just checking out the watercolour and I think I've nailed it. Looks different from every angle, but I'll show you guys. I've mixed a bit of the sky, a bit of the green, a bit of cobalt blue to it. Just added a little bit of distilled turpentine to give it a bit of thin to it. I'll go a little bit more cobalt. That looks about right. It looks green out there, but it is. It has got a little bit of green to it. So I'll apply that down and I might go cobalt blue and white sky colour over the top. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm just going to get a little bit of whitewash on the shoreline here. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my clouds now. So I'm mixing up alizarin crimson, French ultramarine, a bit of mixing white, a tiny bit of burnt sienna. I'm just trying to get the grey of the clouds in. Just go a little bit more French, a little bit more burnt sienna. There we go. That looks about right. I'm going to get me clouds around Fuji sand. Keeps changing, so I'll work out what I'm going to do. So I'll do that now. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I've got my clouds in. I'm going to highlight the clouds now, and this mountain here is lit up a little bit more. I've got it a bit darker. I'm going to just highlight the clouds, lighten that, and that should be about it. Lemon yellow, alizarin crimson, and titanium white I used here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I had a look at it, and this part here, it takes your eye there too much. I want your eyes to go to Fuji. So I'm just going to soften things off a little bit here, probably have it more the lighter watercolour, and then just work it a little bit and then see if it improves. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just mixing a bit of that watercolour I had before. Just add a little bit of cobalt to it. A little bit of that sky I had there to lighten it off. That should be about it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, let me have a look at this. Yeah, I'm just going to, this is a bit too dark, so I'm just going to just bring some light down gradually over the top of it. Wow, that's a big blue bottle, ain't it? There you go, folks. I have done the painting here at Miho Lighthouse area, and I ended up softening off that water. It was just standing out too much, but I'm happy it looks, because it looks better. So yeah, just all that water bit with the waves and all that, just forget about that. But anyway, that's the whole thing about learning as a painter, ain't it? Is find out what works. So yeah, there's the painting. I'm happy with it. I think I got the shape of Fuji right. You know, like all day, even though that Mount Fuji was out, but you could never see the full scope of the shoulders of Mount Fuji. So I had to sort of guess a little bit, but I think I got the shape okay. So yeah, tell me what you think in the comments, and happy to help if anyone needs a hand with colour mixing, that kind of thing. Just drop me a, if you want to know how I painted things, just how I painted different things, just drop me a note there in the comments. And yeah, thanks for coming along, and journey continues off to Tokyo soon. Thanks for coming along, catch you in the next one. See ya.